What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mike Tyson, and you're now tuned in to Mike Tyson Life Cycles. And today, the topic is group riding, y'all. Now, listen, I love the group ride only because riding solo is just boring to me. Now, for some of you guys, y'all might just like just being out on twos, riding alone, and just talking to yourself and listening to your music. That's all well and fine. But group riding is where it is because it's funny. That's one thing. Two, if you're on a road and if you got a cardo, like most of those truckers that be out on the road and they just talk to each other and they just having conversations amongst you know other 18 wheelers while they just taking long distance trips. It's funny. It's just a all in all fun activity to partake in while you just riding. So you just don't feel like you just alone. Now me, I like group riding, and that's just because for the main reason we be racing, we do a lot of dumb shit, which is also funny, but we just out here making bad decisions. So you know how that go. So while we making these bad decisions, you might as well do it as a team, because this way, if you get in trouble, someone has an alibi or someone can be a witness to something, so on and so forth. But here's the thing about group riding. It can be dangerous. The only reason why it can be dangerous is because you don't know how all these people ride. So I have my core group of people who I ride with and who I came to this group ride with. Now, what you're witnessing here is the DMV ride out. This is basically like the annual ride out at the end of riding season, basically. And for people that don't know what DMV stand for, again, that is DC, Washington, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Now, it's people that come from all over to come to this group ride because it has gotten very big, I guess you could say. In this case, it had to be at least, I would say, about 500 riders that came out to this group ride. So again, we came in a pack. So it was a pack of us of about, I would say about 20 of us that came as a pack down to this group ride. And again, you know your core people who you ride with, you know how they ride, you know how to anticipate certain things, so on and so forth. But when you with 500 motherfuckers who you never rode with, that could be dangerous. So of course you're gonna have the assholes out there. Of course you're gonna have the stunt guys out there. You're gonna have the speed guys out there. You're gonna have the cruisers out there. So it's different type of riding depending on what kind of bike you have. Now me, some people prefer to stay in the back. This way they ain't gotta worry about no dumb shit going on or people crowding too much and causing an accident. Usually those are the cruisers in the back anyway, because the sport bikes, we want to do dumb shit and go fast and so forth. But I was in like the middle of the pack, but I was with my core group of people surrounding us. We stayed in our pack, and this way no one could just come within our pack and start doing dumb shit. So we had a plan going into this anyway. So we wanted to make sure we all get home safe back to our family, and that was the case. So another thing why I like group riding is because the attention you get. Now, we took over the whole motherfucking highway out here. Cars pulling over to the side. Even we had a police escort because this was actually a planned event. So we had Maryland State Police and we had the Virginia State Police escorting us and on the shoulder of the road, making sure nobody got into an accident or other cars didn't get into no accident. So they was kind of just maintaining traffic. But we took over the whole fucking highway. You had cars taking pictures out their window. You had kids just all happy and joyful out the window, like, look at this, mommy, look at that. So again, when you group riding, it's just a whole event out this thing that I love to do, and then it makes for good video like this one. So again, when you're group riding, like I said, come with the pack or the core people you know that you ride with on a daily, or you know how they ride, because again, it can get dangerous. And it was, I would say, about a handful of accidents that happened during this group ride. Now, I wasn't a part of it. None of my crew was a part of it. But when I was looking at other people videos, I've seen uh people that got into an accident, rather it was a wheelie going wrong, or someone got cut off, or someone braked too hard, or so on and so forth. So that's why I was like, as long as I stay within my pack, I think we'll be fine, which was the case. But again, you'll have those guys that want to show off. They had a camera car out there, so people want to get on YouTube, people want to get on the camera and just show off. We get it, but we always say ride your own ride, and the whole goal is to get back home. So that was our goal. But during these group rides, what I like the best is we get to talk shit. That's one, because again, if you have a cardo or something that you can communicate with amongst your crew, we just be talking a whole bunch of shit. We be like, look at this motherfucker here, man. What the fuck is he doing? Or you got people that are characters on a bike. We seen one cruiser had like what you call it, a skeleton on his back. Like, just being a character. And we had some cruisers that were just souped up, like they customized these baggers or certain bikes, and we was like, damn, that shit nice. I know he dropped a nice 10 to 20,000 into it. And one thing with the cruisers, they always have their speakers going. So it was a couple times when I was riding past and I was like, oh, he playing that shit right there, boy. So we was just riding and vibing out. But that's why I like group riding. Again, it's just fun being out on the road with a bunch of people and no worries in the world. And at a certain, no, there's no worries in the world when you just with your pack, because they got your back if anything was to pop off, and that could be good or bad. Because we also know you got some fake tough guys that want to act stupid, either if they in the car or not. But I would say another thing about group riding is that it brings the car group out. So when you have a bunch of motorcycles and you got your Fast and Furious boys that like to come out with their Mustangs, Corvettes, and Scat Packs, Chargers, and Challengers, and all that good shit, it gets fun, because now you're meshing two groups together, a motorcycle crew and a car crew. And like I said, the car crews be thinking they can maintain with the bikes. I'm like, nah, it's just certain shit you can't do. Like, you can't split lanes. You can go fast, but there's only about so fast you can go. So again, I just like the camaraderie of bringing out two different kind of groups. The bike crew, the bike culture, and the car culture, which is always cool. But here, like I said, we was stopping traffic, we was taking over lanes, and like I said, people were just on their phone and they was just recording as we were just taking over. We had a whole bunch of people just stunting. We had a whole bunch of people drifting on their motorcycles, which is cool too. I gotta learn how to do that though. I don't know how to drift. I see on other groups how they drift those Harley Davidsons. I gotta learn how to do that. And of course, you got your Willies, you got your backpack people that come with their girlfriends and whatnot. So hey, get it, got it. I'm not a backpack guy. Like, I don't want my wife on the back. Like, no. This is my thing. Leave me the fuck alone. And that's just how we gonna play it. We just gonna leave it at that. And plus, I can't. I'm somewhat of an adrenaline junkie, so I like to go fast. She doesn't. I never heard of the speed limit on a motorcycle. Let's just put it that way. But that's just the case. So, in essence, like I said, every bike you can think of was out here, from the Kawasaki's, the Yamahas, the Suzuki's, the Cruisers, the Harley boys. So again, now let me ask you this. Now, and maybe this is just me being creative, right? So I kind of classify different manufacturer motorcycles. So I like how you hear of the Busa boys. Like I'm sure whoever got a Busa, heard of that name or that term, the Busa boys. Um, or you can say the Beamer boys. Everybody that got a BMW, whether that's a S1K, a M, whatever. Or you got the Ducati dudes, you got the Beamer boys, you got the what you call the Kawasaki guys. I know I know a couple girls that got Kawasaki's. They call them Kawasexy, but yeah, that's something different. Suzuki, I would say with the Suzuki guys I would say Gixxer boys, because with Suzuki is either you got a Busa or a Gixxer for the most part. Like yeah, anything other than that, there's just it kind of throws you off. You got the Yamaha R1, so what you call the Yamaha people? Like everybody got like a nickname, I would say. So again, you you got the Beamer boys that we know of. You got the Busa boys for the Suzukis. You got the Gixxer boys. So yeah, what kind of bike y'all like though? I would say, me. I've always been in Suzuki. That's just my brand from dirt bikes to motorcycles. I just think it's just it. They just make a good quality product. Now, I'm sure that, people can say that about the Hondas and maybe Ducatis. I think Ducatis is a piece of shit for all the money you pay for it, for all the problems that you'll get out of them. I don't think it's worth it. But some people just want to do it for status. Speaking of status, I had this conversation with my wife the other day, right? Is certain motorcycle bring out a status symbol for certain people, right? Or is it just me? For example, like when somebody comes on a Ducati, Panigale, right? Or something like that. You automatically make that judgment like, oh, this motherfucker got money, right? Or is it just me? Because it can't just be just me. But when you think of somebody that come with like I said, a Ducati Panigale, like, oh, that motherfucker got money. Or if you are on, let's say, a Gixxer, you like that motherfucker crazy right there. You could just tell he got no motherfucking brakes, and he just one of those wild motherfuckers. When you see somebody pull up on an R1, that's just I look at them as they just adrenaline junkies. For some reason, everybody think the R1 is just like one of the best leader bikes, which probably so. That may be the case, but that's just how I make that prejudgment. When somebody pull up on a Busa, it's more like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers, they those in between. Like, don't fuck with them, but don't think they push over either, because when you on a Busa, you be like, all right, everybody wanna test the big bad the big bad Busa, in a quarter mile. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, buddy. What else? The Hondas is like, I look at the Honda people are like, they safe. Like they get a little wild, but for the most part, they safe, reliable type riders for the most part. But I could be wrong. But again, that's just my thing. But when you group riding, it's just certain things I just think about and reflect on while riding. Now, like I said, group riding is dangerous when there's a bunch of people. Some people just want to show out on other people. So we were riding, and as we were getting through, like I would say about middle of the group ride, it was a group that just went out and they was pulling. They was doing pulls, and the genius that decided to do a pull while they was backpacking, I don't think was the smartest idea, but that's what happened. there was a guy who was backpacking with his girl, and the worst happened. So they were pulling right here, and next thing you know, someone went down. Rather, I don't know what happened. Again, I wasn't there to see the actual fall, but I know once the highway got a little clearer, they started doing pulls, and this happened. Someone was backpacking, lost control, and his girl went down. He was fine, but his girl wasn't. Now, again, at the end, she ended up with some scrapes, bruises. I don't think nothing was broken, but uh, let this be a lesson learned that hey, when you backpacking, don't be racing people. That's just again, when somebody on the back, they don't know, if how to lean right or one false move and that's a wrap. So this bike was totaled. Um, his his girl again was down for the count for a minute, and good thing she had on protective gear and no broken bones. But again, it was a lot of scrapes, bruises, and broken egos, I guess you can call it, because that could have ended very bad. And luckily, there wasn't a bunch of traffic out during this stretch of the run where they could have hit a car or a truck or just totally, you know, with flipped. I mean, so that was the good thing. But again, as you can see, when you got 500 riders, the whole highway shuts down. And it was on both sides because when you're going in the opposite direction, people want to be newsy and look, hey, what happened over there? And it just slows up traffic on both sides. But in this case, everything was shut down, and I'm sure whoever the commuters in the cars was like, what the hell going on? But luckily she was fine. The ambulance still came, cops still came, all that good stuff. And again, no broken bones or nothing like that, just a bunch of scrapes, bruises. And I would always say this, when you're group riding, always wear your protective gear. That's key, that's vital, because you never know. And it's not just you, it's other riders or other drivers that don't see you or not paying attention, because we all been a victim of being in our cars or trucks, texting or not paying attention, and bam, within a second, things can just go way left. And in this case, that wasn't the issue, but we all been victims of texting and driving, or if you got kids, your kids do something and you turn around and smack the shit out of them, and then you veer off or sideswipe somebody. I mean, hey, shit happens. We know. But in this case, again, it turned out to not be as bad as everybody thought. But again, when you group riding, y'all just be protected at all costs. Know how to ride, and then ride your own ride. If you are a little timid with a big group like this, stay in the back or stay on the side somewhere away from all the ratchetness that goes on in group rides, because us boys, we like to show off. And that's just part of the game. That's just what the game come with. So I know me many a times I be on group rides, and those fast cars try to pull up on you, and you like, all right, let me just show you a little something. Or you just have other motorcycles that pull up that you didn't see, and they just come up on your rear view, and they rev the engine real fast, or I mean real loud, and you be like, oh, it's go time. So it's just an ego thing with us men. Again, don't tell me, I don't know why this shit happens, but it just happens. But as you can see, it was so many people out on this group ride, and then we just shut down the whole highway. But at this point, I didn't even finish the group ride. I end up going home. Me and people in my crew, we was like, yo, we out. Because by the time they clear all this out, I was just like, I'm gonna be tired, I'm hungry. football game was about to come on, so I'm like, I can get back to watching the football game in time. I got enough footage that I needed. I had my fun, and we was out since this morning. So I was just like, all right, we can wrap this up. But again, you're now tuned in to Mike Tyson Life Cycles, and we talking about group riding, y'all. Again, just be safe out there. Check on your people if someone do go down, like we always say. And here's my motto for being on twos. Motorcycles move your soul. Four wheels. No, I fucked that all up. It's four wheels move the body, two wheels move the soul. That's gonna be the new motto for the channel. So don't y'all try to take it or jack it from me, because if y'all do, I'm copywriting this motherfucker. So just make sure y'all don't do that. And don't look at my Instagram neither and say, oh, I made this shit up. No, you didn't, motherfucker. So again, I'm gonna repeat this and I'm gonna timestamp this motherfucker. Four wheels move the body. Two wheels move the soul. You're now tuned in to Mike Tyson's Life Cycles, and I'm out, y'all. Remember, ride safe and ride.